Hello everybody, welcome back to Mountaineer Bushcraft and Survival Systems. Today we're going to do us a little field test. We have the Fiskars Machete Axe. Right out of the packaging, haven't done anything to it, no modifications, no sharpening, no honing. So stick with me here and we'll take a closer look at it and see if this thing was worth the purchase. Okay. To start with, we'll go over the sheath. It doesn't have a belt loop for some reason. I found that odd, but you know, it is what it is. Pretty cheap tool. We got a retaining strap with a pretty decent button. That's actually pretty stout. Good tight snap. Then this entire thing throughout the length is open. We have a folded piece with some pretty stout Velcro. Get that thing out of the way. Now we got the blade itself. It does have the hollow. It's hollow, the handle. This is something I've slept on for quite a while. You know, I've never really was sure I wanted to purchase it, and I never did find a satisfying review online. So I recently just got it myself, and yeah, of course, obviously, I got a bunch of freaking holes in the head. I don't like that, but just real quick word on the sharpening. Not good. Must have been a Friday job, especially here in the hook section here. There's some right through here. There's a heck of a burr, and there's some dark coloration there, which makes me think that possibly it got too hot. But I haven't sharpened this myself or anything, so I want to see how it performs out of the box. So stick with me here, and we'll get it set up down here right across from here. We'll get you where you can see, and we'll start cutting a little bit of brush with it, see how it works. Okay, guys, we got some pretty decent little bit of brush here. So we're just going to start getting into it. Although it's definitely not as sharp as it could be, that's performing pretty decent. The brush hook section of this really catches that and pulls it into there for the cut. So that's working decent, not too hateful. It's not too heavy. I mean, it's got a little bit of weight forward, but not much. It could use more, but it's not too bad. Yeah, the grip's actually fairly comfortable too, which is nice. Okay, well, let's go find something a little more substantial to work on here. That's outside of cutting brush and stuff, I want to see if they can handle some heavier duty or cutting task. All right, guys, here we got a down poplar. It's been down for a while. I've actually gathered quite a bit of stuff off of this for some of the fires you see me made in my previous videos. Let's see. This part here is about 1.5 inches or so in diameter. So now we're going to use the axe portion of this machete and just see what she'll do. Wasn't super bad, but it definitely broke off that last piece versus cutting it. So we'll bring it a little bit closer and chop off another piece of this. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can cut that without breaking it. No, that was pretty well break. Okay, well, we'll have to find us a new cutting medium here, so stick with me. We got us just an old pine log. This for the sawmill, pretty much going to use this to make stickers out of, so I am going to sacrifice a little bit of this one for our test here, so let's see how well she'll cut into this. And this is pretty big. I mean, ain't made to do this job, but she definitely bites in pretty good. Okay. Let's survey the damage there. It's not too hateful. I didn't have to put a lot of effort in that either, so not too bad. All right, now what I want to do here, got some briars and all the olives here. And this will be a pretty good test of this, because that's pretty much what I'd be getting into using it on. So I think this will be a pretty fair test. And does allow for a two-handed grip, which is kind of nice. Can't tell how well I'm in focus there. Oop. Trying to make sure you all can see what I'm doing. That brush hook part's kind of nice. That can help get in there and pull cut some of these without, you know, making the briars get a hold of me. Definitely needs some honing though. It needs to be sharper. Readjust you guys a little bit. Let me adjust the tripod here. And This is going to be some pretty ugly guerrilla filming here, but it's too hard just to set that up in a random spot. So make sure you guys can see. The nice thing too about that hook, you can grab these pieces with thorns and stuff without worrying about touching them with my hand, which is kind of nice. Just one more adjustment for the camera here real quick, guys. That is hard to do while you're filming, I'll tell you that. That piece is pretty stubborn. I'm cutting at some pretty bad angles, and I'm not bounced that well while holding and filming this, so keep that in mind. It'll be a little bit trickier of a cut. That wasn't too bad. All right, let's get reset here, and I think I'm just about ready for final thoughts on this. Okay, so my final thoughts. It's not bad. Definitely needs some work on the edge. I think that improved performance. It's got a decent bit of flex, not too much, so that's good. Don't know what the steel is. I'd have to look it up. And since I was going to do a field test, I wasn't too worried because I figured if it breaks, it's going to break while I'm using it. Scale 1 to 10 overall. I mean, there's a lot of ways to rate these things. Versus my other machetes, I got a lot of machete experience. 1 out of 10, I'll give this thing a 5. I kind of get what it's trying to do. It just, I don't think it really did the best to do it. Nothing I've done with it that I can't do with a normal machete, and probably a little better. It is a slight bit awkward. I recommend a lanyard. It makes you use different muscles. There's a good bit of fatigue just in this muscle going right through here, but that's from the grip up here near the top here, and how you're forced, trimming picture here, forced to hold that. It's awkward, and definitely it's a lot more comfortable using it two-handed. But I mean, I like the option for two-handed, but I'm just, I'm more comfortable with one-handed. Much harder to do flick cuts because of the bounce. Now, if you're trimming branches off the tree, strictly cutting thicker brush like the Russian wild olive tree, stuff like that, it's not bad. It's well, replace both tools, an axe and a machete. No, not really. It's a compromise, to be fair, but if you could only have the one tool, but I mean, you know, that's a pretty that's a pretty oddball scenario to be in. Do I regret buying it? Not really. It's not near that bad. You know, a 5 out of 10 is not hateful. I mean, that puts it right there on an average. But it's it's hard to describe. I mean, you'd almost have to get one of these in your hand to feel it. I want to like it more than I do because I like the concept and I like the way it looks, the design. There's too much of a sweep to it. I don't know how well you can see that, but too much of a sweep to it. If it was straighter, I'd like it better. But anyway, I'm rambling on and on and on. Point of fact is, it's not bad. For the price, not too upset. I got my money's out of it for sure. So that, everybody, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in another video.